So, you're dreaming of growing your own food, but you have absolutely no idea where to even start. Does the whole idea of soil and seeds and sunlight just feel completely overwhelming? Hey, you are not alone. Honestly, the biggest mistake new gardeners make has nothing to do with water or sunlight. It's letting that fear of messing up stop them before they even plant a single thing. In this video, we're going to break it all down with a simple, no-fail roadmap that will take you from total novice to a confident gardener. We'll start with the single most important mindset for success, and then I'll walk you through the absolute must-knows of soil, water, and light. My goal is that by the end of this guide, you'll have the confidence and the exact know-how to plant your first seed and actually watch it grow. If you're ready to finally start that garden you've been dreaming about, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any tips along the way. Number 1. The most important mindset for success. Before we even think about touching a bag of soil, we need to talk about the space between your ears. Your mindset is, and I'm not exaggerating, the most critical tool in your gardening kit. It's more important than any shovel, any fertilizer, or any fancy watering can. The number one reason people fail at gardening is because they've already decided they have a black thumb. You know the story. Maybe you killed a succulent a few years ago, or a houseplant from the grocery store didn't quite make it. So you've adopted this identity, this belief that you just can't grow things. That one thought is more destructive than any pest because it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. From this moment on, I want you to decide that your garden will grow. Every single experienced gardener out there has a long list of plants they've accidentally killed. It's not a reflection of you, it's just part of the learning process. This brings me to the next essential mindset shift, reframing failure as learning. You are going to have setbacks. That's not a possibility, it's a guarantee. A patch of seeds won't sprout. A plant will look sad for no reason you can figure out. You'll forget to water. These aren't failures, they're data points, they're clues. When something goes wrong, you haven't failed. You've just learned one way that doesn't work for that plant in that spot. Shifting from seeing setbacks as failures to seeing them as lessons is the real secret to becoming a great gardener. To help with this, you have to let go of perfectionism. Those flawless, weed-free, Instagram-perfect gardens, they're highlight reels. They don't show you the trial and error, the bug-eaten leaves, or the plants that just gave up. For your first year, your goal isn't a perfect garden. It's a learning garden. Your goal is to get something, anything, from a seed to your plate. If you get one single weirdly shaped but delicious tomato, that is a huge victory. Lowering your expectations actually increases your satisfaction and keeps you motivated. And the final, most practical piece of this mindset puzzle is to start small. Please, I am begging you, start small. Enthusiasm is amazing, but it can trick beginners into planting a garden so huge it becomes a source of stress, not joy. A giant garden is a giant commitment. You'll get overwhelmed by the watering, the weeding, and the harvesting, and you will burn out. The best strategy? Start with just a container or two on your patio, or a single small 4x4 foot raised bed. Keep it close to your house, somewhere you'll see it every single day. This makes it easy to care for and lets you enjoy the small, daily changes, which is where the real magic happens. It's so much better to have a tiny, successful garden you feel proud of than a huge, neglected patch that just makes you feel defeated. So, let's recap. Believe you can do this, treat your failures as lessons, forget perfection, and start small. If you can do those 4 things, you're already halfway there. Number 2, the absolute basics, the big 3. All right, with our minds right, let's get our hands dirty, for real this time. Success in the garden really boils down to 3 things: light, soil, and water. Get these right and pretty much everything else will fall into place. Part 1, location, light. Before you buy a single plant, you need to become a sun detective. This is easily the most common mistake beginners make. Picking a spot that doesn't get enough sun. Most of the things we love to grow, vegetables, fruits, are basically solar-powered sugar factories. They need a bare minimum of 6 to 8 hours of direct, uninterrupted sunlight every day to create the energy they need to make fruit and thrive. Don't just guess. Seriously, take a day and watch your yard. Where's the sun at 9 a.m., at noon, at 3 p.m.? Pay attention to where shadows from your house, your neighbor's fence, or big trees fall during the day. You might find that perfect spot you had in mind is actually shady for half the day. Leafy greens like lettuce or kale can handle a bit of shade, but for things like tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers, you have to find that prime, sunny real estate. Besides sun, try to pick a spot that's relatively flat. This stops water and nutrients from just washing away. And crucially, make sure it's near a water source. You're going to be watering a lot, especially at first. Trust me, hauling heavy watering cans across the yard every day is a surefire way to make gardening feel like a chore. Convenience is your best friend. Part 2. Soil, the foundation of your garden. If light is the power, soil is the life support system. It is everything. Good soil provides nutrients, holds moisture just right, and gives roots the air and space they need to grow. Trying to garden without good soil is a classic rookie mistake that just leads to weak plants and disappointment. Now, soil science can get super complex with talk of clay, sand, silt, and pH levels. While that's all important down the line, for your very first garden, we're keeping it simple. The easiest, most foolproof way to start with amazing soil is to just buy it. If you're using containers or grow bags, do not, I repeat, do not scoop dirt from your yard into them. It will turn into a hard brick, it won't drain, and it'll choke your plant's roots. You need to buy bags labeled potting mix or container soil. This stuff is specially made to be lightweight and hold moisture while also draining well, which is critical for pots. If you're building a raised bed, the simplest path is to fill it with a mix of bagged garden soil and compost. A 50-50 blend is a fantastic no-fail starting point. Compost is the single best ingredient you can add to any garden. It magically improves drainage in heavy soil, helps retain water in sandy soil, and it provides a slow, steady release of nutrients. You can buy it in bags right next to the garden soil. When you're filling your bed, try to have a soil depth of at least 12 inches. This gives most plants, even things like carrots, plenty of room to grow deep, strong roots. And if you're dreaming of perfectly long carrots, a little deeper is even better. And a final pro tip, don't make your garden beds wider than 4 feet. This way, you can reach the middle from either side without ever stepping in the bed. Stepping on your garden compacts the soil, squeezes out precious air, and damages the roots you're working so hard to grow. Part 3. Watering wisely. The #1 beginner skill. If I could only give you one piece of practical advice, it would be about watering. More beginner gardens fail from watering problems, too much or too little, than anything else. We either kill our plants with kindness by drowning them, or we forget about them until they're all wilted and sad. So, how do you know when to water? Forget a strict schedule. The best tool you have is your own finger. The finger test is the most reliable method, period. Stick your index finger about 2 inches deep into the soil near the base of the plant. If it feels dry at your fingertip, it's time to water. If it feels moist, even if the top looks dry, wait. Check again tomorrow. Overwatering is really about watering too often, which suffocates the roots and can lead to root rot, a problem that's really tough to fix. When you do water, water deeply and less often, instead of giving a quick sprinkle every day. You want to encourage roots to grow down deep into search of water, which makes the whole plant stronger. A light sprinkle only wets the top inch of soil and leads to a weak, shallow root system. Your goal when you water is to soak the soil down to a depth of at least 6 to 12 inches. The best time of day to water is in the early morning. This lets the water soak in deep before the sun's heat evaporates it, and it gives the plant's leaves all day to dry out, which helps prevent fungal diseases. Watering in the middle of a hot, sunny day is inefficient and can even scorch the leaves. And always aim your water at the base of the plant, directly on the soil. Try to keep the leaves as dry as possible. A soaker hose or drip irrigation is great for this, but honestly, a gentle stream from a watering can aimed at the soil works just fine. And remember, plants in containers and grow bags will dry out much faster than plants in the ground, especially on hot, windy days. You'll probably need to water them every single day, maybe even twice a day in the peak of summer. The finger test is your absolute best friend here. Okay, we've covered the essential mindset and the big three of light, soil, and water. You now have the core knowledge that trips up most beginners. Are you feeling a little more confident? If this is starting to click, let me know in the comments what your biggest aha moment has been so far. And if you're finding this guide valuable, a quick tap of the like button would be amazing. It really helps the channel reach more aspiring gardeners just like you. #3, your first garden. Taking action. Theory is great, but the best teacher is doing. It's time to decide what to plant and how to plant it. Seeds versus transplants. When you go to a garden center, you'll see two main options: packets of seeds and small young plants called transplants or starts. For a beginner, using transplants is probably the easiest way to start. It gives you a huge head start and that feeling of an instant garden, which is awesome for building confidence. Tomatoes, peppers, and most herbs are great to buy as transplants. That said, some plants are incredibly easy to grow from seed, and it's way cheaper. Things like radishes, peas, beans, lettuce, and zucchini are perfect for planting directly into your garden soil. I highly recommend doing a mix of both. Buy a tomato transplant to guarantee some success, but also sow a row of radish seeds. The radishes will pop up in just a few days, and you can be harvesting them in less than a month. That gives you a quick win that builds a ton of momentum. What to grow first? On that note, choose plants that you actually want to eat and that are known to be easy for beginners. Don't try to grow some exotic, difficult thing on your first go. Stick with the reliable winners. Lettuce and other salad greens are fantastic. They grow fast, you can just harvest the outer leaves as you need them, and they don't mind a little less sun. Bush beans are another champ. They grow quickly, produce a ton, and don't need much support. Zucchini is famously productive, so much so that you'll probably be giving it away to your neighbors. And small cherry tomatoes are generally much easier and give you more fruit than the giant beefsteak types. Growing things you're excited to eat is a powerful motivator to get out there and check on your garden every day. Number 4. Navigating common hurdles. As you get started, you're bound to run into a few hurdles that can feel confusing. But don't worry, they're common and the solutions are usually simple. For instance, even after mastering the finger test, you might still wonder if you're overwatering. The telltale signs are leaves turning yellow and the plant might even look wilted, even though the soil is soaking wet. That's a classic sign the roots are suffocating. When in doubt, always trust the finger test. If the soil is wet 2 inches down, just step away from the watering can. This brings up a big fear for many, the memory of plants they've killed before. So has every other gardener. Every single one. It's time to reframe that thought. You didn't kill a plant, you ran an experiment that gave you some new information. Take what you learned and try again. The best way to build confidence is to start with something super easy, like radishes or lettuce, to guarantee a quick win. You'll also notice your plants changing as they grow, and sometimes in weird ways. If you see your plants getting really tall and skinny, that's almost always a sign of not enough light. The plant is desperately stretching to find more sun. The technical term for this is getting leggy. There's no real fix for it other than moving the plant to a sunnier spot, which shows just how important that initial sun detective work is. As your plants mature, you'll start thinking about how to keep them well fed. If you started with good quality soil and plenty of compost, you might not need to fertilize much your first year. But as plants grow, they do get hungry. A simple way to think about it is this. Organic fertilizers feed the soil, building a healthy ecosystem for the long term. Synthetic fertilizers, like those common blue crystals, feed the plant directly for a quick jolt of growth but do little to improve your soil over time. To build a resilient garden, using an all-purpose organic vegetable fertilizer every few weeks is a great habit to start. Finally, there's a mistake that comes from the best of intentions, planting way too much and getting completely overwhelmed. Welcome to the club. It happens to even the most experienced gardeners. The key is not to let that feeling lead to giving up. Just focus on one small section of your garden. It's so much better to take amazing care of 3 tomato plants than to do a poor job with 30. You can always scale back. The journey from just thinking about a garden to actually eating from it can seem intimidating, but it really just comes down to a few simple ideas. First, get your mind right. Believe you can do this, start small to build momentum, and see every mistake as a lesson. Second, nail the fundamentals. Find a spot with at least 6 hours of sun. Fill your pot or bed with high-quality soil and compost. And master the art of watering with the finger test. Water deeply, at the roots, and in the morning. That's it. That is the core of successful gardening. You do not need a special green thumb. You do not need years of experience. You just need to understand what a plant needs to thrive and have the willingness to give it a try. The most important step you can take is the very first one. Go buy 1 pot and 1 bag of soil. Plant 1 seed. Water it. Watch it. The greatest teacher in gardening is the garden itself. You have everything you need to begin. Thanks so much for watching. If you're ready to take the next step, check out this video right here on the 9 foods you plant once and forget about. Harvest forever. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next guide. Now get out there and get growing.